Greeting, friend. I hope you are well today. Hey, if your home doesn't sell, what does that mean? It's sitting on the market for a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. What does that tell you? First of all, there's a lot of factors that go into why homes sell and they don't sell. The economy's got a lot to do with it. How are people, feeling about their future, and do they have a decent job? What are interest rates doing? How does your home compare to the ones on the street in the neighborhood? Do you have the upgrades that the other ones have? What does it look like when people drive by? Those simple little things are all so important to properly showcasing your property to get you the best net. And I know net's important, but what you also want is to be confident in the transaction when a buyer brings the contract. That's why there's so many factors that we talk about when we first meet, about doing inspections prior to listing, about perhaps painting that wall color that many may not like. Even though we know that paint is a simple fix, we want people to visualize themselves in that home when they walk in. So let's cover a few things. Overpricing. Overpricing is key to not having a successful, quick closing. Yes, we all want more money, but isn't it better to get a confident, solid contract quicker than having it delay? Your carrying costs for taxes, insurance, a mortgage payment, okay, utilities. Keep that into consideration when we're pricing a property. Condition means a lot. Condition is a vital part of proper pricing. What condition is your home in? When you see homes online and they are a mess, unless you're looking to flip that home, okay, where you don't care about that, are you even going to go into that property? You might if it's the only one in town and you want to be in that town. But given today's inventory, that is not the case. Lots of inventory, higher interest rates than what we got accustomed to. They're still fairly reasonable compared to historic numbers years ago. And I'm sure, we all heard where our parents had a mortgage interest rate of 17%. Yes, they did. And homes were selling for $37,000, and mom stayed home and dad was working. And yet they still could afford that mortgage payment. Well, obviously things change. So what goes into proper pricing? The condition of the property is one item. Marketing is key too. We can market as best we can, and yet if the property is not priced properly, doesn't matter. Marketing does not work. Let's just say whatever your favorite grocery store is. Publix obviously is our main one here in Florida, and they are pounding the television with advertisements on bananas. Okay, but the banana is $5 each. Does that marketing matter? It does not matter. Same with housing. We can run Facebook ads. We can have the greatest photos online. We can do whatever we need. Brokers open houses. We can put it in a magazine. If the pricing is not correct, it doesn't matter what marketing we do. You have to be able to show the home at a moment's notice. I know that's not fair, but in this market, when we need more and more buyers to see the property, you have to be able to show a home at within a reasonable amount of time. Let's say a buyer is in the neighborhood and they're seeing other properties, and for some reason yours just didn't cross their radar, or the agent never saw it and showed it to them. If they're driving by your home and we've got it, the yard looks great, the sign's in the yard, and they call me and say, "Hey John, we're in the neighborhood, can we see it?" I want to be able to reach out to you and say, "Hey Joe, Sarah, we've got a buyer in the neighborhood. Would you mind if they popped in 5, 10 minutes, a half hour?" Okay. By keeping the home always in the condition to be shown at any moment, which makes it easy when you stay up with it all the time. It creates an opportunity. And what does that say to that buyer? Wow, I can go see that home now. It must be in great condition, right? So let's keep that in mind. And market expectations. What is the buyer expecting in this market? Okay. It's a very buyer-friendly market right now that we're in certain pockets. Sometimes it's a seller's market in certain local areas. And as you know, real estate is local. What's happening here in this area may not be the same that's happening where you may reside right now. So it's very, very localized. So, the reason homes don't sell, the primary reason is pricing, but there's a lot of factors that go into that. So, before you even consider putting the property on the market, call me. Let me strategize with you on how best to get you your highest net with the most confident contract to create the least stress for you. I hope you find that helpful. I'm always available. I've helped lots of families transition to the next chapter, and I'd like to help you. If you're open to having a conversation, call me anytime. I'm always available. Call or text at 727-459-7356. I'm John Rurkowski, and thank you for listening. Make it a great day. Peace.